Officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends, where a total of 6 people were. One of them, a rapper Davon Bennett, who goes by the stage name King Von.
Over here, brother. Yo, you better watch out. This is my brother, okay? Hey, come on, chill.
The public was given access to the police documents related to King Von's death. A hospital nurse alerted the police. They brought King Von back to life. After surviving 2 surgeries, King Von was shocked by the nurse's arrival as he was searching for his handgun.
Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the 2nd surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, talking about he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quick?
Because she was there at the hospital.
Even more alarming is the police's belief that King Von was backdoored by one of his own. Tonight, King Von was to be protected by his experienced bodyguards. Police documents show that all of his guards fled toward King Von when the brawl broke out during surveillance.
Security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't even supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
The police body cam footage shows King Von's pals, but not a single bodyguard is visible. Even Guando Rondo's interrogation, in which he disclosed the truth about King Von's killing, was cobbled together by the authorities. But during the police interview, Guando would later reveal what King Von said to Guando Rondo during the altercation and his time on the ground with King Von on top of him. However, because of the amazing information they provided, we must first examine the police file on King Von's death in order to fully comprehend it. It reads, King Von and his crew visited a club on November 5th, 2020, Atlanta, to celebrate the launching of his CD. The title of this CD was Welcome to Oblak. I had no idea it would be so brief. A lavish celebration of King Von's life and accomplishments was planned. There were many of King Von's foes. He was aware of the dangers of public exposure because he grew up in a violent neighborhood like Oblak. As a result, King Von's squad came to the club with 20 to 25 people spread among 8 vehicles, 100K track. Van's manager even brought up the important security measures King Von implemented.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. We're like, I think we're about 8, 10 cars deep, 20, 25 on entourage.
Everything was running perfectly during the gathering. Before someone began texting King Von's phone, this happened all at once. King Von and his crew started to depart the club at around 2:30 in the morning when King Von got a call. He would go out with the others, spend about 5 minutes on the phone, and then come back. They all agreed to spend the night in the parking lot at the Airbnb, but King Von had a sudden change of heart.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
King Von would order his driver to go to another establishment called the Monaco Lounge, while the rest of the team returned to the Airbnb. King Von's decision to visit the person he had been messaging for the previous hour was the first of several decisions that would ultimately lead to his demise.
Everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, you know we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
King Von, a driver and a security guard were in his Escalade, but once they got to Monaco, the security only informed the other members of the squad that the plans had changed. As soon as the rest of the crew learned, they quickly got back in their cars and headed to the new club. Van's management realized there was a problem with King Vaughn as soon as he arrived in Monaco. He wasn't behaving like the cheerful individual he typically is. Rather, he was sitting in the corner of his Escalade, hood up, texting and receiving. Van's gang, however, was prepared to enter the club covertly. They were unaware of King Vaughn's peculiar behavior. All they wanted to do was keep hosting parties. King Vaughn, meanwhile, spent half an hour sitting in the truck.
For some reason, Vaughn wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30, 35 minutes.
At this moment, his manager got inside the Escalade to see how King Vaughn was doing. He convinced King Vaughn to let him enter the lounge, but Monaco Club regulations require Vaughn's staff to leave their firearms in their automobiles. They first dispatched a security guard to check the club and ensure everything was safe before letting Van in.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Vaughn. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Vaughn, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Vaughn's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
Professional security guards are currently inside examining the area. Outside, in the parking lot, was the real danger. This is because Quando Rondo discovered who King Vaughn was communicating with while driving with some of his own colleagues. One of Vaughn's security officers saw Quando Rondo standing beside his white car after checking the parking lot from car to car to see who was there or whether anyone was trying to keep an eye on them.
Right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Vaughn just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
Jumping off the truck and trying to confront Quando. Van's crew was trying to get him to stop being so rowdy and calm down. But King Vaughn went on, even though this was his fastest move of the night. After rounding the front of the white automobile, King Vaughn spotted Quando Rondo, looked him in the eye, and immediately swung at him.
He jumped out the car. By the time Vaughn jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
The two would battle for about 30 seconds. That is, until Quando's best friend, Lil Tim, came out of the back of the white car with his gun and aimed it at King Vaughn. When Van's management used it against King Vaughn, he would also get a leg injury. However, Van's members remained strapped. They hit back at Lil Tim right away, pulling him down within a few feet. However, because of the noisy eclipse that was taking place nearby, two off-duty officers were manning security just down the street. When one of the on-duty officers reached the scene from the other direction, they would use their walkie-talkies to fire a number of rounds into the area where, unfortunately, one of King Van's members had been killed. King Vaughn and Quando were still sprawled in the center of the road. Some believe Quando tried to seize King Van's chain before departing. 100K. Track believes that King Vaughn kept Quando there for his own protection, even though the police have documents showing that Vaughn was actually using Quando as a shield.
And was he trying to take Vaughn's chain or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Vaughn was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong, like, he was literally holding him.
As soon as the situation subsided and everyone laid down their weapons, the race to save King Vaughn's life started. Quando was actually hit by his best friend Muap as soon as he ran from Vaughn into the middle of the road. Quando then left the location with his company, which included Lil Tim. All of them jumped back into their white car and drove off to the hospital. In the meanwhile, Van's group...
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been.
King Vaughn was rushed into the operating room as soon as he arrived at the hospital. Sadly, he passed away after being surprised by a hospital nurse who was looking for his gun, despite having survived 2 surgeries. But here's something extremely strange. Evidence of King Von seeking for a gun he never owned was only recently made public. But in an interview 2 years ago, Bowie said that Vaughn had never been a gun owner.
Like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even,
King Von
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all them niggas supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. I like King Von.
Which made some believe that the notion that Vaughn had never had a pistol was being spread by his own teammates. King Vaughn's passing would thereafter quickly become newsworthy.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of...
Where everyone would start spamming Quando and LOL right away. They all understood their responsibilities, so Tim's Instagrams inquired as to what had happened. Quando would thus divulge in his initial interview.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
To even ridicule Tim, the perpetrator of the crime against King Vaughn, he expressed his opinions.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Lil Tim would be arrested and charged with a felony the next day for what he had done to King Vaughn, even though he had recovered from his injuries in the hospital. Lil Tim was repeatedly rejected at his many bond hearings. But in March 2021, he would be issued a $100,000 bond, which Wando Rondo would pay. His lawyer announced in August that the allegations against him have subsequently been withdrawn. 2023, which reads, "The case against Mr. Leaks, commonly known as Lil Tim, was withdrawn without him ever being charged." However, this is only half the tale, since what happened next resulted in one of the biggest cases in rap history, and Van's closest friends, O-Black members, and Lil Durk had to act. They wouldn't just overlook what they had done. In the months that followed, we would therefore hear of a major hit against Quando's team.
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
As a result, one of my closest friends, Lil Pab, was killed in the attack. After Vaughn passed away, Quando realized he was experiencing the same pain as Lil Durk, as captured in news footage.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Lil Durk would eventually claim responsibility for the hit. He would rap on the diss tune, but Durk won't. Do any because he's a vocalist. You can believe whatever you choose. I struck your parents, including even Quando's cry upon hearing of his best friend's untimely death. No, is how Durk ends his examination of the news in his piece about Jackie Boy and Wonderful Wayne. As seen on TV, Wando was shouting,
This man.
For this, L. Durk would be arrested in retaliation. The evidentiary files were released since we now know who snitched on Durk. The text said, "The new boy's body cam footage of him begging to turn on Durk and F members has changed his case." Durk's lawyers submitted a lot of paperwork on their bond proposal, which brought up the subject of what Lil Ted stated to the federal government. Ted is also known as DDD's younger brother these days. DD is Durk's primary man. For anything pertaining to the streets, he turns to DDD. When the police caught Lil Ted at a local convenience store, they quickly arrested him because he had a gun in his trousers pocket.
Really? Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
After that, Ted was driven to the police station, but before he had even stepped inside, tears were flowing down his cheeks. "I swear I'll tell you all about the passings," he would assure the police. It was too late, but he prayed he wouldn't wind up behind bars.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I think I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
As he was led to the waiting cell, Lil Ted was seen sobbing excessively. All he wanted was to get home and tell on everyone he knew.
Hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 779, what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, all right?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus for prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Everyone suspected that DD was the one who snitched on Lil Durk when they learned that someone was using their last name in court paperwork, because DD is his older brother. This is because, as you may remember, only a last name, not a first name, is listed in court documents. As a result, Fazzu had to go live on Instagram to explain the situation.
No motherfucker know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on, for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all done threw the jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on, for real. Some of my kids, y'all really just be running. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jail.